Alright, so we back with another video. Today we're gonna be ranking the cat breaker attributes. We're gonna be ranking every single attribute based off putting cat breakers on it. If y'all do want more like this, all y'all gotta do is like the video. Hope you like the video. But yeah, that's gonna be the video for today. We're gonna be ranking them. Now, in terms of the tiers, it's gonna be a little weirder than the regular videos because this is gonna be based off which ones you would be putting on and when you will put them on, in terms of the importance of putting them on, and if you would put them on or never putting them on. So it's gonna be a little bit different on the tiers, but for the most part, this is gonna be the video. Y'all want more of these? Like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff out the way. Further ado, man, let's hop into it. Alright, so hopping into it, we got the tiers. Instant. This is one that you're gonna instantly put on. Like, that's gonna be instantly in your mind to put this one on first. Auto, you're gonna put this on a build. This is gonna be on a build. Whether you talking about a guard, you're talking about a lot, whether you're talking about a big. Later, this is gonna be a better for later attribute to put on your build, but you're probably gonna put it on. Doesn't mean it's auto. It really depends. Later is kind of really depending on how much you really play the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you saving these attributes to put up with cat breakers for later. Hit or miss. Hit or miss is a weird one because it's a later one, but this could be, it's in between later and never. So you could really think of hit or miss as like the regular mid, because it's really just hit or miss. You may put it on, you may not put it on, and then you have never. You're never using this as a cat breaker on any of your builds. So let's get into it. Close shot. Close shot is an interesting cat breaker because this is kind of like I talked about in the takeover. When you do raise this, you do feel the difference in terms of the green window. So this is actually a nice one to put on. I would probably say this is a later situation though. This is a later situation, whether you're a big or whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's probably going to be a later situation because it's just more important attributes for most of your builds that you're going to have. Then we have driving layup. Similar situation to close shot. This is a later situation because the thing is, when it comes to close shot and driving layup, there's just not badges that make it worthwhile making it an auto cat breaker. You know what I'm saying? It's just not anything making it worthwhile. But I will say driving layup is probably more likely to put on later than close shot because the badges that you do get with driving layup are better and more worth it than close shot. So I will say that. Then we have driving dunk. Driving dunk for the most part is an auto cat breaker. You can make builds with 25 driving dunk, and that's going to make you a viable dunking build if you put all 5 cat breakers into it. You can make a lot of builds where you start with like an 88, put 2 on it, you get to 93, get gold posterizer with 80 vertical. That's going to be an auto. It's a lot of auto situation with driving dunk. The only height that's not really all the time auto is really those 6'8" where you almost always have to put +5 to really get what you want in that driving dunk. But for the most part, there's a lot of situations where you don't even have to put all 5 cat breakers into driving dunk and be able to get your max driving dunk. So driving dunk is actually a very, very auto one for the most part across all builds. Not every single time, but across all builds. But even if it's not, you're probably gonna still try to put stuff into driving dunk because the badges are just worthwhile. Then we have standing up. Standing up is another one that's actually tough. This one is actually tough because it is in the middle of auto and later. I feel like for the most part, when you do have standing up and you are putting cat breakers on it, you already are pretty fine with what you have. So I would say that's a later situation. I'll put it high later, but it's a later situation. Then we have post control. Post control, that's a never situation in my opinion. Now, there are actually, post control is a hit or miss. Because there are a lot of builds that you can get a lot of post control from not. It's kind of similar to like driving them, but you get even more. So post control is actually a solid one where you get a lot of attributes fast for putting that up with cat breakers. So I could actually see that being a hit or miss situation. Then we have mid range. Mid range is a tough one. There's some times where mid-range is actually an interesting one because there's some times where it's just better to get your shooting badges from the mid-range, which could make it auto. And that's more so an auto situation than standing up. But for the most part, threes are so valuable. They're so valuable. But with the nerf to fading, Could that make mid-range even more important? That's an interesting one. Or 3-point fading, because you can still fade middies pretty well compared to threes. That's a tough one. Midi is actually kind of tough. I'ma say there's still a lot of viable mid-range ones. I'm gonna say auto, because there's a lot of times where you can just go up on mid-range for any shooting badge that's not really, limitless range. You can get that with mid-range. So mid-range, that's pretty auto. Then we got 3-ball. Don't really need to say too much. That's an instant. Most builds, that's pretty much an instant. Not even gonna talk about it. Not even gonna waste time on it. That's pretty much an instant. Free throw, I'm gonna be real. I have a never, but is there really a never situation on any attribute? Because the way that they do it, I think free throw is the closest one to a never. Because if post control is not a never, this is the closest one to a never. So yeah, that's a never. I think even I ain't gonna lie, it's a hit or miss. I don't think there's gonna be any never. Really being real, I think there's just not gonna be any nevers, really. Then we have pass accuracy. Pass accuracy is a later situation for sure. I would probably say I would put pass accuracy before I did driving layup and close shot, because you get pass styles, you get a lot with pass accuracy. Oh, but you do get animations with driving layup. I might put driving layup over pass accuracy. I might even put driving layup over standing up, because you do get animations. Because you get animations, like standing up, you get really just rise up. Low key, I'm lowering standing up. You really just get rise up. Driving layup, pass accuracy, you get animations and badges. You really just get rise up in a couple standing dunk packages, but it's not nearly to the magnitude of pass accuracy and driving layup. And when you get to the higher echelon of those, you kind of get some really good animations. So, but pass accuracy, you don't really need those higher echelon animations, because Paulo is really good. That's a tough one. This one is actually tough. I don't know. That's a tough one. I'll keep it there, though. It's still in the same tier. Even if it's in the same tier, it's pretty much debatable regardless of any order you can want to put. But, yeah. Ball handle. Ball handle, for the most part, I think that's a pretty much auto one, because that's how you get a lot of your dribbling badges. And that's how you get a lot of your dribble animations. So, only time it's not really that big of an auto one is, like, swings. But guards, for sure, it's auto. Like, the small guards is for sure auto. I wouldn't say instant, because of the swings. It's not really an auto situation. For guards, you could argue it actually is instant. But I got to meet somewhere in the middle on that one. So I would say auto. Speed ball. With the Darius Garland 91 speed ball, I think this is going to be an auto situation. But a lot of people before this season wasn't putting it up with these stuff, to be real. But with people be able to get that, now people going to also be getting De'Aaron Fox too. And De'Aaron Fox is really good. So I would probably say this is an auto situation as well. I probably would put ball handle before speed ball, because you do unlock more animations. Because you got to think about it. You only getting dribble styles with speed ball. You're getting a lot with ball handle. But you also, with speed ball, when people go, especially when you think about it, you go all 5 on speed ball from 86 to 91. That's a whole, you're getting to 91 speed ball. You're getting Hall of Fame. Lightning Launch. So it's like you don't even have to use a max badge plus 2 no more on Lightning Launch. That's a whole different situation. So I do think speed of ball is actually a really nice one. That's a nice one. That's a really, really nice one. Then we have interior defense. I don't really know too many situations where you're going to be putting interior defense up with cap breakers. Being real. So I would say this is at the top of hit or miss. Interior defense is actually an epitome of hit or miss, though. Because there's not a lot of situations you're going to put that up. Only situation you put it up is really in these post control free throw situations. For the most part, you're probably going to have that high to what you want it to be. So that's an interesting one. Then you have perimeter defense. Perimeter defense. I don't think perimeter defense is an auto. Even on locks, I don't know if it's an auto. That's a tough one. I'd probably say it's auto because how important it is. I don't know if that's actually an auto, because majority of builds you already have pretty high perimeter defense, because steel is so unimportant when making builds this year that majority of builds have like 92 plus perimeter defense starting out for the most part. So it's not too necessary to go all that high with it with the cat breakers unless you a lock. I may say top of later. personally, because there's just other things you can put up. So even on locks, that one is really kind of debatable. Steel, I like upgrading steel with cap breakers. Honestly, I would say steel before any of these later ones, for sure. Steel is before any of these later ones, for sure. Not even debatable. Block. Okay, now we kind of get into it where like some of these in later. It's like all these can't be later, because block is for sure a later situation. Block is a for sure later situation. For sure a later situation. So close shot probably got to go down. Standing up, nah, that's a for sure later. That's a for sure later. Close shot, not as much. So yeah. Then low-key close shot is a later though. It's just on the low end later. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, we just gotta keep it like that. Offensive rebound, auto. If you're big, it's an auto one. One of these, it really depends on what you upgraded. So both of these are kind of hand in hand. Either you're gonna upgrade your offensive rebound with cap breakers, or you're gonna upgrade your defensive rebound. You're not really gonna do both. So they're both gonna be side by side at the back of auto. And they could be debatably instant, because the same thing, kind of like I'm saying with the auto, you probably gonna put this up if you're a big man with your cap breakers. So yeah. Then you got speed. See, when it comes to locks, I feel like speed, agility make more sense. But this is another situation where it could be a later situation, because majority of people making their builds are going max speed, max agility on it off the rip. That's how I'm doing it. So this one could be a hit or miss, because you just might not have cap breakers to put to this. Thinking about it, this one might be a never, because you don't. Yeah, I'm gonna put a hit or miss. I'm gonna put both of these hit or miss, because majority of the time when you're making your build, you're not really gonna have much of speed or agility to upgrade. You're most likely, especially on this game, gonna have those max. But in the odd situation that you're not, it's probably a later situation right there with perimeter defense. Perimeter defense don't really be max. Speed and agility a lot of the times be max. So I would say hit or miss, because the hit or miss is really based off if it's max or not. If it's not, you're obviously gonna put it on later, probably above a lot of these in later. But yeah, strength is a later for sure. I would value strength above close shot personally. Then last but not least, we have vertical. I would probably say vertical, because vertical actually does have in-game benefits more than strength. Like strength is really more so like bumps and screens. Vertical is for like dunk frequency, blocking shots, passing lanes, animations, rebound animations. It's gonna improve all that, and you're gonna get more animations with it. So I would actually say vertical is up there, low key. I would actually say vertical is above steel. Vertical is actually pretty important in terms of cap breakers. But yeah. Yeah, nothing's in. I didn't say anything else was in auto. Speed with ball might be auto. Is it instant? No. Only 3 balls instant. I don't really think anything. Low key, I'll put the rebounds up there in instant. For bigs, those are kind of instant. It really depends on which one you're using. I'm gonna put these at the back of later, because it's like, it really depends on if it's max or not. It don't really seem to fit with the hit or miss ones. Honestly, interior defense, I'll even say later, because it's not the same level of these at all. It's not the same tier. These are just a whole different tier. Like, you're only putting these on, like, if you're just that crazy with if your build is that crazy that you already got everything else done, you're putting these on for the most part. Unless you're a post scorer, then this is kind of in a situation. Free throw is very particular. Like, you may have like a big man build where you just couldn't put free throw up, then you need to put free throw up with your cap breaker. But for the most part, yeah, that's pretty much what it is when it comes to these cap breaker attributes. So yeah, that's the video. Y'all do want more of these, like the video, make sure to subscribe, all that good stuff out the way. Further ado, man, it's your boy Fitz. I'm out of here. Now, I've been letting y'all off for a little while. 90%. Let me say it again. 90% of y'all aren't even subscribed. Now, I've been doing this for a little while now. Y'all, I know y'all mess with the content at this point. So subscribe. Subscribe. It's that simple. If you buying anything on Fortnite, Epic Games Store, use code YaboiFitz. I don't know why I ain't been had this, but yeah.
Tell them to bring me my money. Yeah!